Welcome to all our members, our mastermind members with Care Provider Solutions, to Table Talk, another episode where we try to encourage and enlighten some of the most amazing people in the world, AFC owners and caregivers. Today we're really proud to be with Cheryl Sitko and Rich Nolan from Innovare HP. They're community resource and marketing specialists for AFCs and for those businesses in the healthcare arena. So we're happy to have them here to talk about ABCs of AFC marketing and filling beds and securing the reputation of your business in the community. This is so important. It's just basic to any AFC that opens and wants to operate well. So we're really happy to have you guys. It's our very own coach, Nadine Carlson, is here to start the discussion.
Wonderful. And when I hear the term marketing, back in 2010, if someone would have told me that word, I would have thought unnecessary, expensive, and I can do it a different way. And I found out very, very quickly, especially as a new owner, without having any reputation at all, no connections at all, that every single thing that I thought was true was totally the opposite. And now as we fast forward all these years later, we actually did some statistics. And we found that marketing, when it's done proactively, and there's experts like yourself involved in the process that know how to create that reputation in the community, like Jeff had mentioned, that you're going to fill your beds 50% faster. And what I mean by that is that you're looking at around 40 days after getting licensed compared to 5 months after you get licensed, when you're using proactive marketing strategies and not just depending on the contracts to get in place. So today we want to unwrap what that looks like. What are the ABCs of marketing and the features, the functions, and the benefits that AFC owners really need to keep their finger and their pulse on, so that as they establish their reputation, they know they're doing it right. They're not having to figure it out on their own. So why don't we go ahead and get started, and let's talk about features. Cheryl, would you like to kind of give us an overview?
Well, first off, thank you so much for allowing us to come into your dining room and sit at this table and talk about that. Feature functions and benefits. AFC has been developed for many, 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 many years. Started out small group homes, non-licensed boarding, if you will.
That was interesting.
That was a very interesting thing. My grandparents, my parents did AFC homes and boarding. And that has mutated throughout time, especially I think in Michigan, because people like that small town feeling and living. And when we're looking for placement for loved ones, I think that's truly important. But if you'd have said to me, even 25 years ago, are you familiar with AFCs and what does it take? Nope. Unless you're in tune with that or you've rubbed against it, you do not know what's going on. People don't. And so there's options. You don't have to go to assisted livings with 20, 40, 60, 80 beds. These are individuals, and we cater to individuals when they're that small. That's a great thing.
I like that.
So when it comes to features, you got the license for AFC, you're ready to open your home, you've passed the inspections and everything else. Now what? Well, it's called, you need to move people in and fill those beds. And so under the features, we take a look. Rich and I have looked globally, saying, what is it that we can do to help? Some of the things that is created an environment so that people would like to move in is, you absolutely need to be known, and that isn't just in the community, but the outreach and the tentacles, because there are a lot more AFCs to buy from and a lot more housing options for seniors, a lot more housing option for psych, for seniors, and all the stuff that's in between. So how do you get there? So you have to streamline your business, and that could be digital marketing, SEO, creating those platforms, opportunities, open houses, so that people know you and that your door is open for that community.
So let's talk about the platforms for a second.
Yeah.
So there's three things that absolutely positively we've discussed are, you just have to have them, because people won't find you when they're looking for a placement for their loved one or someone they care about. So can you explain what those are?
Go ahead, Rich.
Well, thank you for having us, Jeff and Nadine. This is so interesting. So when we talk about those platforms, we're referring to your Google business page, we're referring to your LinkedIn page and your Facebook page. We want people to be sharing information on those platforms, because that's where people are. I'm on Facebook. We all are, right? Times have changed. Gone are the days when you just meet people in person. Right now, they are on those platforms, and we want to be catering to those needs. Some people are into in-person meetings, some people are into digital, so it just makes sense to be in it.
And then what about the website? What role does that fit within the Google business profile and the social media?
Sure, that's another thing. Website gives you authority. It's pretty much like your address.
Your footprint.
Exactly. And people will look you up online and would go to your website to see if you are a legit company.
Yeah, right.
And so that provides that legitimacy to your business.
Yeah, and I find it really interesting how you were mentioning it's so important to mimic that actual personality of the home in the website, so that there's not a disconnect and a potential disappointment when they actually come to see the business.
Home.
The home. So tell me about that.
So when you're building your website, we'd like you to tell your story, to not oversell the property, to not undersell the property, but just to share factual information about your home. Ultimately, it's a source of information for potential residents, right? They're browsing the website so that they will find more information about your property. So there is a disconnect when people undersell their services because they just DIY their website and not do it professionally. So now you're underselling your property. I mean, talking about features, it's gotta be in there. There are times when you can brag about your house, may it be in the component of care, may it be in the component of cost, or where you are in the community. So it's gotta be there. Those features need to be communicated in that platform because people will visit it. Now, when you build your website, you don't also oversell it just for the sake of having people check you out. No, that's also a thing of integrity. Like exactly. Like if you visit the website and then when you visit the website and then when you visit the place, it's almost like disconnected. They are two different entities.
Yeah, and that's so important, and maybe you guys can give an example of what that looks like. But even for AFC owners that have that established presence, this is really important information because maybe there's never been any thought given to whether or not there is a disconnect and an opportunity to improve the website presence, to elevate them even more than what they are right now.
Go ahead, Jen.
So they identify a lot of people are shopping around. There are more AFCs than ever before, and it's AFC versus assisted livings. So they have that right, and they want to make sure that wherever they choose to live or their loved one placed, that it's right for them. And so that flavor of that home is absolutely essential. How did you feel when you walked through the door? Were you greeted correctly? Did you talk to them about what you offer and who you take care of and how you take care of them? And what are their daily lives going to look like? Those are truly entrenched wanna-knows. They want to know that their loved one is going to be taken care of emotionally, spiritually, as well as everyday living aspect. It is an enhancement. It's not just living there. It needs to be immersed, and you need to understand the culture of that.
And in addition to that, say you don't have those platforms, right? You don't have a website, you don't have Facebook, you don't have LinkedIn, and because you're thinking of cost. And when I say resource allocation, it also pertains to your time, right? When you are out there just doing boots on the ground, it's fine too, like networking and all that. And you made a great impression to those connections, right? And they will refer you to family members because of those great connections that you built in person. However, that person that they referred you to, your referral partners that they referred you to, like a family member, was not in that in-person meeting. Where will they find the information about you? Guess what? Online. They will Google you up online. They will check your website and all that. And if you did not make an impression on those platforms, then you lose it. And first impressions last. That is your living room of your business, digital living room. And if it's not done right, then you miss that opportunity. People will not visit you.
Okay, so let's unpack that a little bit more. So in order to properly represent, we want to make sure that the functions are represented properly, the services that you're providing. So let's talk a little bit more about that, differentiating yourself and what that looks like from an expert's perspective like yours.
Go ahead, Ray.
So
I'll just chime in.
right, true to brand. There's no science behind it. You gotta be true to your branding. Say what you mean you're gonna be doing, and vice versa. So it's a question of being true to your identity as an AFC. The most common pitfall of any AFCs is they compare rather than
They do. Oh, yes.
they compare each other rather than coming up with your own story and put it out there. Because at the end of the day, people would want to know your story as an AFC owner. Again, may it be boots on the ground or digital platform, you gotta be true to your branding. You gotta be true to your story, and that's what makes you different because that's your DNA. That's your DNA. So we gotta. And part of what we do is we don't just build those websites. We don't just create those platforms. We bring out that DNA so that people will understand your narrative, your story.
So a lot of times we will teach as part of that is understanding and developing your mission, your vision,
Yes.
and your core values. So is that the starting point to build that story?
Yes, everything that you do should answer to your mission and vision. So first order of business, I think even before you start your real business or business, you gotta sit down and figure out your mission, because everything that you do, may it be pricing, may it be marketing, may it be outreach or whatever, should answer to your mission and vision. That is your guiding light.
In the aspects of filling beds, it's important that you clearly state to the consumer exactly the experience of living in that home, whether it be disability driven, whether it be senior and just aging in place, or whether it's behavioral health, and that you just don't mix that population if it's not in a great environment. That is not what you want to portray. It needs to come to what is it, the aspects of living in that home, a safe environment, an enjoyable environment. If you walk in there and it's chaos, guess what? I'm going to leave. If it's for the soothing atmosphere that is portrayed and you can see that, you can feel it, that is 100%. That's how it works.
Yeah, and just don't compare.
Yep.
Because you are different in many
That's your
ways.
niche.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no one size fits all in marketing. Everything is different. Your mission is different. Your benefits, features, functions, and benefits of Cheryl is different from other AFCs.
So it's the same industry. You're taking care of people in every AFC, but you do it your own way. You have your own personality, and you need to let people see that. That's what I'm hearing from
Yeah,
you.
I hear that too. It's almost like you've created the skeleton by establishing what you have to have in place, and then you're adding the muscle and the skin and the features based on the uniqueness of what you offer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
it's over aging and staying healthy. That's what people are looking for. Let's face it, the centurions, it's real. People are living to be 100. Most people that desire AFC homes, they are usually 68 plus. That's about the average going. Some of them come in 90s, and they're living and they're thriving. And when you walk in there, and what you want to talk about is how are they going to thrive?
Also, when you see a platform that's done right, what does it give you as a consumer? Peace of mind.
Peace of mind,
This is
absolutely.
professionally done. So AFCs are businesses. It's not like you opening a home and expect people to come to you. No, you have to treat it as a business. You have to have professional website. You have to have professional social platforms, because that's where people will go to learn more about you.
Yeah, even in the community and mental health space, the case managers will sometimes do some research and do some of that pre-evaluation.
So with the clients that we have, we try to do the creative best that we can to create those platforms as if they are those big assisted living facilities. We try to, and we do it true to their branding, but there's creative output. You got to be creative.
What would you like to see if you looked at an AFC website? What would you like to see as far as the care?
Safety, wellness, and actually thriving. That's what I want to see in that.
Okay.
It's well managed, and they're making friends. Most people pass away from loneliness and boredom.
Good
So
point.
it's important that you're interacting and that you portray that in your website or in person, because they need that emotional value. They need to know that their loved one is going to be taken care of. And that paints your picture.
Yeah, if you put yourselves into the shoe of those people looking for an AFC, I would, if that were me, I would look for your mission first and foremost, because I want to know your values, if it's aligned. The cost, obviously, not all the time it's available there because it varies, but at least some form of, if not the actual pricing, at least some form of financial requirements. So, I don't have to waste my time if it's not available. The care, obviously, that Cheryl mentioned, some pictures. So pictures have to be taken professionally too. Some people just DIY it. It's fine too, but imagine what a professional photographer can do in storytelling. Right? I mean, it captures the essence of what you offer. And when you DIY these stuff because of we weren't prepared for the cost to do it, it costs us more. It's very limited.
So, as a photographer and videographer, I wanted to talk about your point.
Yeah.
If you take photos of a party at your house because you want to show that these people are lively, they have fun, they have a good time, and you don't make that point in your picture, you just have a crowd of people, then you have lost the opportunity to show your benefits, like you're saying, right? So spending the extra money, not just because somebody has a camera and they just went into business, but somebody who really understands, and it might be the owner of the AFC that understands this, how to actually show the story of what's going on in that picture. Now, I kind of steer away from a lot of clip art looking photos myself. We do use them sometimes, but when you really want to show your soul to the world, you don't want to show somebody else's soul.
True.
So it is important to capture your people, your home, your environment.
You hit the nail on the head, Jeff.
Okay.
That is very important. Some of the websites that we created actually feature the curb appeal of the house too, or at least we bring out the best in the house. And professional photographers can help you with that
know how,
too. Yeah.
So once we get those things in place, then let's talk about the diversification and the importance of making sure that your net is cast very wide for referral sources, so that you're not depending solely just on one avenue income stream. So would you bring some more insight to that?
I think that, typically, not always, but typically, people like to retire or stay in 5 miles or less of their neck of the woods, so to speak, unless children are involved and they move mom or dad or both or siblings to them. But nevertheless, you have to put that net out there, whether it's in hospital settings, other group homes, because one size does not fit all, right, Rich?
Yeah.
Yeah. And churches and your neighbors and social workers, any walk of life potentially could be the next person that says, you know what, this is a small environment. They absolutely take care of the loved ones that are in there. That would be a referral. And that's what you need to do. You need to be very engaged. Go to meetings, talk about your business. A lot of times, if you don't have that social media in place, they don't hear about you. It's great that people come to us and say, well, we're licensed. The state knows. Well, who else knows?
Right.
Well, nobody,
Because they
nobody in
certainly
your
won't.
community, they view you as, I see a lot of cars over there and going in and out, but what are they? What is the definition of AFC? People do not really know that. So the more you define your business, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah, and I just thought of a story that hits that right on the mark, in that the neighbors, some people are afraid to tell the neighbors that they're opening up as an AFC because there might be a stigma. Oh, the people over there. There's going to be people running through the neighborhood naked.
right.
And it's all just based on false information. But if you're proactive with the neighbors, I've heard stories of where the neighbors actually have their loved one move into the home, and they're just a few doors down. How ideal is that? You mentioned 5 miles. Well, how about 2 blocks? Or the next door.
There you go. I just hop over the fence and visit my loved one. That is really very true. And you'd be surprised, especially in these small knit communities, how they talk. And, or maybe not talk, but whatever happens there, you can bank that people hear about it. Invariably, they will hear, but it takes time. And if you're looking at a turnover success rate of 50% or better in a shorter amount of time, marketing is just needed.
Also, the timing. When do you start marketing?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
That is a good question too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people they're waiting until they get the license before they start their marketing.
Yeah.
I would say that's not the case. The moment you LLC your business, you bought the house, is when you start marketing.
If we just look at the statistic I gave you, so we said a little over 40 days from licensing with these marketing strategies put in place compared to 5 months. If you're just waiting for contracts, that's roughly 4 months. So just if we're talking mortgage or rent, on the low end, $3,000 a month, that's $12,000 that you're having to bear the burden of covering that overhead plus the utilities plus anything else.
And time, which
is huge.
Which is a resource that you cannot take back, right? Bare minimum, at least a month before you're fully licensed.
Okay, so let's relate that to what we were talking about. You won't have residents yet to take pictures of. So how would you show your mission and your
But you do
style?
have an owner that can build momentum. It's okay also to use stock photos as long as they tell the story of what your vision is, so it's intentional even though they are stock photos. So that's a good question, especially for people who are not yet established. So there's so many options that you can do. Maybe shoot a video of the owner, post it on the website. Here, we're opening our website, or we're opening an AFC rather, and talk about your goals, your visions, and then
And the mission.
build momentum.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is what they're forecasting. This is their values. It's a sense of community and embracing it. I would rather see a waiting list and people sitting in the wings aware of it than you are now licensed and you have no one moving past the thresholds to tour your lovely building.
Or again, good thing you mentioned about the tour. If you don't have anybody yet, funnel into touring. Like ask your referral partners. You were asking, that's a great question, Nadine. You're asking, what can we do to keep those referral partners engaged? Hey, you have a house already. Do a coffee meetup at the house. That's how you build momentum.
Give them a bunch of hard hats and say, come on in. Let's do this.
Funnel into tour, and then you can in person tell them where you are at with the journey. You're still working on your license, but the house is here and ready for you to tour.
This is what you guys are good at. I've been to a couple of your open houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And
run very well.
that's where you can meet people that can be a referral partner. And thank you for inviting your people to attend those networking
absolutely.
mixers, because we want to connect them to a potential referral partner, whether or not they are our client. Because I mean, we are on the same goal of helping our communities thrive. So I would say,
That's
So
cool,
especially before
Take
you
it.
have residents, if you're gonna be the owner and the operator, that's ideal, then I'm hearing you say, is attend as many mixers, networking
Correct.
events. They're posted on Facebook. There's quite a few pages that you post to on a regular basis. Make sure people are there and rub shoulders, pass
Yeah.
out cards.
and document that through your platform. So that gives the community confidence that you're out in the community, that you're one with them. I mean, seeing those real photos of pictures, photos, real pictures on your platforms, because you're networking. So there's so many things you can feature on your platforms.
Yeah, I know there was one customer that you worked with that you helped create that buzz, and they had their first resident move in 4 days after licensing because the excitement was so almost at a fervor state. People were, I mean, they were full within 30 days. So
That's amazing.
yeah, and that was with your support. And what's even great is when you continue that, it's not always about just getting the momentum. It's about keeping the momentum, right?
Agree.
So how do these things help you keep the momentum?
Well, we partner with those AFC owners in some activities too, and connect them to more referral partners, because you will never know, right, when you need one. So I call it building ecosystem of support with our clients. What that means is, sure, you are already full, but what else do you need in order for your residents to thrive? So we create networking mixers again, and then have maybe a hospice company come over, a PT company come over. So now you have more to offer because you have a built connection of support for your business, and that will help you grow. May it be you deciding to open your second home, or something else.
So you're creating that pipeline of, we're full now, but what happens when we're not so full? So you have to be out there advocating for yourself. Every opportunity that you get. That's just so that people do know that you're open for business, that you're not closed to business, that you'll take somebody on a waiting list, that you can come in and tour our home. People need to hear from you at least, I would say, 5 to 6 times before they go, oh, that's what they really do over there. Never be afraid to open up those doors and have people walk in, because that will feed your pipeline and that will keep your business solvent.
Agree. Always feed your pipeline.
That's great.
Good line.
So we also create branding, the logo and all that. Those are not AI powered. Those are like well thought out branding for our clients.
Yeah, because with the AI, when you're doing AI branding, is it true that it can actually create the same logo for someone else?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Or
I didn't know if that was
That I can't answer
a
to.
falsehood or not.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is whether that, and I'm not against it. It's just that, we prefer to kind of create a more true to brand narrative.
No, I think it needs to reflect in where you're based in your community.
I like the Everbloom new AFC coming in Grand Rapids.
And we also named New Day, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it reflects
Your
their
name,
taste.
Your name is a thing.
It is, very much.
You don't just choose a name for the sake of
Choosing a name.
choosing a name. It's gotta be strategic too. And
Interesting.
yeah.
Well, let's talk about the tour.
Okay. The tour. was I supposed to say? Okay, in the tour, you gotta be systematic too, because that is the part of your business that's devolved to you or whoever is in charge of your facility. When somebody comes in, what would you do? That is the question. First of all, do we know what to do when somebody comes in, or do we just like, what do you want to see, right? So straight to the rooms. No, you gotta be at least have them sit down in an office if you have an office or a kitchen. Offer them something, because that is the impression that you're leaving to them. How it is when they are in the house. Is it like chaotic? Nobody knows what to do when somebody comes in. Are you tour ready? Is also another question. Are the rooms well kept so that when somebody who just walks in can still tour? I would say have a designated area for your tour person, maybe the owner or a caregiver should know what to do. Have an office or maybe the kitchen counter. Talk to them about what they're here for first.
What are they looking for?
Have a few minutes. Build rapport. That is...
Ask some questions, right?
Ask some questions, because that tells them what you are and how you're involved in the care.
Absolutely. And when you say care, that's getting to know this individual and whether or not you can provide that care.
Yeah.
It's never just one-sided. It's a two-way conversation, and understanding their needs, building the rapport so they feel comfortable with you, but yet also making sure you're comfortable with that individual that you're caring for.
Yeah.
Is really important.
I seriously would say in that tour, you absolutely need to ask, what are you looking for? And tell me about your loved one. What are the needs? What are the things that we need to know? Because you have to find commonality and be able to provide those services. That is utmost important. If you're there just to sell a room, that's what you're going to get. You're going to sell a room, but you are talking to the person who is going to live there. You need to know all the nuances, and they need to know that they're being heard. That's important.
Absolutely.
So when somebody comes in, offer a comfortable environment for that person. The most important aspect of that phase of the tour is building rapport.
Absolutely.
Share the story. You're not yet in the mode to sell. This is the time when you're
fact finding.
Exactly. But more so also building that connection, because that will help you seal the deal somehow, because they get to know your background. You get to know their background. So it's a getting to know each other phase, right? Again, if you've done it right, then there's a chance that you will win them.
You are setting the temperature of expectations, and that is something that needs to be put in their profile, their care planning, and everything about them. Do they work in your AFC? Will they get along with those other residents? Do you have enough there to make it a healthy living?
So many things that that is achieved in that first phase of the tour.
Absolutely.
You get to know the person coming, what they need, what you can provide, because this builds to the next phase of the tour, which is you match what they need from that conversation to what you offer when you tour. So that's the second phase of the tour.
Hey, listen, invite them for dinner.
Offer something to drink.
Come in and have dinner with us. Get a feel of the other residents that will be there. That's like a
Good
perfect
idea.
intro.
Yeah, that's a great advice.
That gives them a prelude to how much care their loved ones are getting. Also, say in that conversation, they ask about a specific need of their loved ones. May it be an allergy or a preference to food. So now when you tour and you're in the kitchen, you can reiterate how person-centered you are in terms of what you serve to your residents. So many things. And a lot of people maybe are not paying attention to that tour, but that is like the thing. We can funnel from all those sources, boots on the ground, events, social media, hype, and all that. But at the end of the day, that's what will close your deal.
So
I would think so.
The tour.
it is. I just toured about 4 months ago an AFC home that absolutely thinks they are really the best. So I walk in there, it sets the temperature. How did I feel? What did I smell?
Okay.
And how did it look?
The tour.
And more importantly than anything else, how did the patients look? And most of them were in bed, where the TV was on, the staff was not engaged, I smelled urine, but yet you charge $7,000. Well, okay. Well,
So you made your decision right away.
immediately. And she knew that I was a professional. That was a not a cold call, but an appointment. And I got to be honest with you, I was truly disappointed. And I realized people get incontinent. I worked in skilled nursing for a long time. I get all that. And I've stopped tours and turned around and look at a loved one and said, I apologize for what you're smelling. It's unfortunate, but this is reality. This is what we deal with. And the aide is in there attending right now. So if that makes you feel any better. So you identified the problem, you've apologized, and you addressed it.
So many things to be done still. Like, you're right, the hours isn't enough.
It
Won't
isn't.
be enough.
It really isn't.
Going back to the disconnect portion, right? You can pretty up all your platforms and websites and all that, but the reality is that what would stick. Because you can use those platforms to funnel to your tour and might not be able to close it because of what they will find or the experience with the tour. So it goes hand in hand. Your home office should be streamlined too, like the office of the AFC, because that's where you will invite them to have that discussion. That's after the tour. So during the tour, what are you gonna do, right? So now you have information from that initial conversation, what they're looking for. So go for it. Again, the feature, functions, and benefits of Cheryl. Now you can, if they're looking for functions, benefits, and features of the house that are important to them, you go mention that. May it be, we are all private suites. I want privacy for my mom. Okay, so we have a room. Now you're kind of like solving their problem because of what you're telling. You're not just like buffet, right? Like hitting and missing.
Exactly. My mom does not get up before 10 o'clock in the morning. Can you still provide breakfast? Those are the things that will come up. Guarantee it.
So that's why you need, in that conversation, you have to have like IPO, input, process, output. Input, what are the things that I need for
What's important?
That this person needs when they come to my house. So I will put that in the input. And then process is when you're touring. Okay, so these are the things that they need. So I will mention that in the tour.
Yeah, mom likes to do laundry every day. We can accommodate that. If she wants to come in and do laundry and do folding, we can do that. That is considered an activity. It's purposeful and meaningful to her. That's what she did at home, and we can incorporate the same thing.
So private private suites. So show them a private suites and the features of that room. And then maybe during that initial meeting, they're more concerned about activities for their loved ones. Show them a calendar of these are the activities that we do.
That's what we do,
Yeah. Or may it be their concern is ratio of caregivers. You can even in fact call a caregiver and say hi, hello to them.
That would make somebody feel very safe and secure.
Yeah.
Peace of mind you talked about, to know that you heard what they needed and you will provide it.
Yeah, and I think it goes the opposite way too, because then the caregivers will feel
Included.
they'll feel included. Yeah, and well, maybe that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're part of the process, and they can help make that connection, because not everybody will be a good fit. So by following this process, it can go both ways. Maybe doing laundry every day isn't possible in that environment for whatever reason. So then it's a two-way street. You can say, we would love to take care of your mom, but this is something that our facility cannot accommodate. We can't accommodate XYZ. Am I interpreting what you're saying correctly?
Yeah, and then you can offer, you can make it a collaborative approach. But this is we can do together to solve this problem.
Yeah, and I think we need to talk about family involvement. It's kind of a two-way street. Families want to be involved, and you as an AFC owner need to navigate that as much as possible. I've seen two things have happened. Either they completely don't really engage at all, routine visits, that kind of thing, getting them back and forth to the physicians.
Okay.
But then I've seen where you've had overbearing daughter that's just constantly in there night and day, making sure that things are going on.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that's just reality. So, but I'd rather have engagement than none at all. So, what is the tone of that AFC? What are the rules and regs that you're going to set up? We don't want to create barriers where they do not feel like they are wanted, but yet you need to streamline that appropriately for excellent visits.
That's a touchy one.
It is very touchy.
So yeah, very important. Tour is a very important part of marketing. That's when you make the impression with your potential resident. So it's got to be done right too.
What about after the tour? How do you send them off in a way to make it memorable?
So you got to have information ready. They should not be leaving your house without any information in their hands. Maybe just a flyer. That's what we created for Tender Living Home. A more streamlined flyer, really nice,
Business card?
Again, true to your branding across all platforms, digital and print. It's got to have that same feel. So to answer your question, that and the question on when you can follow up.
Exactly.
That's
You
okay, the
absolutely
call to
look at them and say,
Yeah.
how would you like me to follow up? Would you like me to give you a call in a couple of days? What is it that your preference would be?
And respect that.
You never leave that door open without follow-up, and it needs to happen before they leave. And that gauges how they're feeling.
The outreach component, how do you build that outreach strategy in place? Because it's not enough that you just create contents, but what are you going to do with it? You're not Taylor Swift. that would have millions of viewers. So how do you make sense of it? So from creating, from marketing contents to outreach. So that's another thing. I would say 60% of your marketing effort is actually on outreach.
Tell me if this is a good strategy in addition to the business card, giving them a goodie bag of sorts. Is that something you would recommend, or is that unnecessary expense?
I think if it's within your budget, go for it. The worst, the at least a flyer, if
Right.
not that.
Or
Because I
brochure
think
or
of
whatever.
Darlene, and I still have her bag.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
But that was during an open house. I don't know. I think it's going to be depending on
The
person to
budget,
person.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Not open house. Open house, everybody should get it. But I think it depends on, because you don't want to look like it's just marketing. I can't express that enough. It needs to be driven about the resident and their needs. Let's just say mom had a fall, physician at the hospital saying, hey, listen, they really should not be returning at home. My recommendations is higher care. And they leave that very ambiguous. What is higher level of care? Is that skilled nursing, assisted living, AFC home? What does that mean? I'm hoping they'll get a hold of a social worker up there so they can help them navigate. But nevertheless, the family comes in and tours that AFC home and says, my gosh, this is perfect. Well, okay. Well, they look at the AFC owner and say, when can we move in? So you really need to be very Johnny on the spot. Get to that discharge, get all the orders put together, and get that person in there as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Yes, and we have a resident admissions course that helps teach AFC owners how to do that well, but I never would have made that connection between marketing all the way through when they say, how quickly can we move in? That actually is part of that as well.
Well, it's call to action, and I'm not sure that people are going, well, we could do that next week. Well, no, it could be emergent. They can't take them back home. Most hospitals, when they say you're discharging, whether it's under observation status versus inpatient, it's usually within 24 hours. That's reality. So if you have a room that potentially could be full and they're willing to do that, then you need to reciprocate. You need that sense of urgency. That can't wait because of whatever XYZ. You need to move them up.
Yeah, so the admission and non-admission determination, I would say, should be done in 24 hours.
Absolutely.
Decision to admit somebody when everything is read, or every requirement is submitted to you, I would say make the determination, be decisive whether you're taking this resident or not, and relay that.
The reality is that
Sometimes they take
when they're when they're
out.
in the hospital or whatever the situation, most people will give them 3 different places to look at. And so it is imperative that you take a look at the assessment, talk to the families, and you make that decision rather quickly.
And you communicate
The better.
that. Yeah.
The
and
quicker, the better.
For sure. And you communicate that to your referral sources that we can make determination in 24 hours.
Yep, absolutely.
May it be not admission, but determination that we have this patient. We will have this resident. This is fit for us or not fit for us. At least have that goal to do it in 24 hours. So now that gives you the edge. Like you said, it's sent out to different providers. So
Yeah.
if you can do it,
And if you get that referral, don't wait for them to come to you.
Yeah.
You call them and engage.
because some some facilities take weeks before they make the determination.
They do. It's true.
You can relay, okay, we're accepting this patient, and then you have those caveats. You can say that too, but at least be decisive.
Or you can say, we're going to accept pending outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
So the disposition of the discharge. Because we need to make sure that we can take care of them.
Right.
And that could be funding sources too. If they
Absolutely.
can't, it could be pending approval for waiver, pending CMH approval. So that's really, I like how you said that. It's determination, not admission. You're just saying yes or no, and then you're giving a date with potential conditions.
Yes, caveats, yeah. We're taking this patient, provided this XYZ is determined, but at least be decisive. Because that's what you work so hard for with your marketing efforts, right?
And if I was that social worker or that discharge planner or whatever the case may be, wow, you are pending with this referral within 24 hours, that's amazing. That gives me the idea that you as an AFC owner are in tune with the needs, in tune with the family, attune with the community resources, and that you want to make this work. And that is gold.
That's great.
Good ideas. Good ideas, and exactly why we wanted to talk with you guys, because you obviously are good at it. You have a lot more that you haven't told us, I'm sure, that
Outreach.
goes into all this.
Well, and that's why we will give your contact information, because there's just not enough time to unwrap it all just in this short time together. But the information that you've given us really gives us a really good basis to set up the AFCs for success that listen to this.
Well, all kinds of topics to talk about, and we have our membership community, of course, where you can talk to your heart's content about this topic, share ideas with fellow AFC owners and operators, and learn and teach as you go. Nadine is always happy to help you with courses, whether she's teaching you in person or online. And don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or needs in how to run your AFC. That's what this is all about, is helping to raise the bar on caregiving. So thanks for watching. We'll probably include this as a coffee table talk, which we won't wait for an opening in our regular schedule. We'll probably put this in. And it's a very good chance that you already know these guys, Cheryl and Rich, because they're very involved in the AFC world, and they've helped a lot of people. So thank you both very much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
See you next time.